All of us we want to be happy in life, and every human being is in pursuit of this happiness. Whatever we do, whatever we say, and whatever we acquire is all oriented or directed towards becoming happy in life. Hi, my name is Nandakumar, and I am your wellness mentor, and I welcome you to this YouTube channel called Holiness. Today, I'm going to talk about happiness, and what I'm going to talk about is not from my own thoughts, but from what Dalai Lama has written in his book called The Art of Happiness. So what is that we are going to see? We are going to see some of the points which he has written in that book. And I'm going to talk about 8 major points which he emphasizes are very important for us to be happy in life. So what are they? The first one is, he says, do not place your joy on the sufferings of others. Generally, as human beings, we have a tendency to feel nice or happy when people whom we don't like are struggling or suffering. Now, he says that is not going to help you become happy. It is very, very short-lived, and that's not good for you to indulge in. So he says, instead of that, try to become more compassionate and empathetic to such people. So that's the second point he says. Practice compassion. So in fact, he says practice universal compassion. Now, what is the difference between general compassion and universal compassion? Compassion generally means putting yourself in the other person's shoes and thinking from their side, looking at life from their angle. Now, when you say universal compassion, you're not talking only about human beings, you're talking about all other forms of life in the universe, be it plants, be it animals, or be it other human beings. So he says, being compassionate to other forms of life is very important for us to be happy. The third important thing he says, make proper connections. So he says, build lasting relationships with people. We are all social animals, and we definitely need those connections. It is not the virtual connections what we make in Facebook or Instagram, no, or in any other social media channel, but it is more about physical connections what we do. Now, there has been a study in the Harvard where they did a study on 724 men, and it was the study lasted for about 72 years or something like that, where they traced these people from their teenage and until many people died, and they had almost more than 60 people surviving that experiment, wherein they found people who had, among the subjects, the people who were really happy in life were the people who had excellent connections, like families and friends. So one of the most important aspects of being happy in life is to have a good network of friends, relatives, family members, and everybody around you. And that will definitely help you to become more emotionally, mentally, and spiritually strong. That will give you happiness. The fourth important point, he says, suffering is natural, but do not over magnify that. Do not amplify that. We all have sufferings in life, and it is going to come to us. Life is a spiral, so we will go up and we will come down. But what we need to see is whether the spiral is actually tending to go up or is it spiraling down. Now, if it is spiraling down, then we are doing something wrong. But if it is spiraling up, then that's okay. So what is that he is advising us? He says, be prepared for good things and bad things to happen in your life. It doesn't take you by, so when something bad happens, it doesn't take you by surprise. And so we'll be ready for that. The fifth important thing he says, positive attitudes, feelings, and habits can be cultivated by sustained efforts. So this is something we all know, and there are many research proving that we can create positive habits in our life. We can have positive thoughts, and positive thoughts creates positive actions. Positive emotions actually build in us. They secrete a lot of positive hormones inside the body. We call them as happiness hormones, and this can actually help us to be more happy in life. So this is something which can be cultivated. So if we take proper sustained action on this, if you're focused on working on the way our mind works, the way our thought works, so this is basically mind management. And he says, the sixth point, he says, try to find good in all situations in your life. Again, this is about the way we look at things in life. Every time in life, we have two choices. You can either look at something positively or you can look at an event which happened in your life negatively. Now, what are you choosing? How are you choosing to look at? Now, there is a definition for stress which says that stress is a state of mind. So, it is not the situation which is actually causing stress. It is the way we respond to the situation that is causing stress to us. So, in cognitive behavioral therapy, they talk about identifying the thought from the triggering events. So, what is the thought you had during that time? And if the thought was positive, you're going to respond positively to the situation. If the thought was negative, you're going to respond negatively to the situation. And can that be changed? Of course, yes. By practice, it can be changed. The seventh point, he says, replace anger and hate with patience and tolerance. Anger and hate are definitely negative energies. They actually create all kinds of issues in the body. Gautam Buddha says, if you are angry with somebody and you are going to shout at somebody, it is like taking a hot coal, burning coal in your hand. And before you throw it on the other person, you're going to burn your hand first. So anger and hate are going to burn ourselves first, even before we direct it to somebody else. So you need to replace anger with patience and hate with tolerance. And here is where Buddhists say that you need to be thankful to those people who are creating this kind of tensions in your life, because they are also trying to tell you what are your weaknesses. They are helping you become aware of the negative thoughts and negative emotions what we have so that we can work on them. And so they say be thankful to them. And they spend quite a lot of time working on this. The eighth important point he says is combat your anxieties by analyzing your thoughts and motives. Again, very similar to what we spoke earlier. Whatever anxieties we have, many times it could be because of our lack of self-confidence. We may not be confident about ourselves, and so we become anxious of a particular situation, particular job, or for example, an examination or anything like that. So again, here we need to become aware why we are becoming anxious. What is that reason for our lack of self-confidence? And many times, sometimes this also leads to low self-esteem. And this low self-esteem is many times a cause for self-hate. What is low self-esteem? You don't value yourself properly. The feeling that I am not enough. We are all enough. We all are unique beings. We all have the required capabilities. Many times what we do is we don't acknowledge them. We have limitations. We don't acknowledge them. So if you are able to be clear about what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, and if you are able to accept that and acknowledge it to other people, you are able to say openly that yes, this is my weakness and I know that this is my weakness. I'm working on it. Then you have a very high degree of self-esteem. So if you work on all these 8 aspects of life, you're definitely going to be happy in life. And that's what Dalai Lama says. So just to summarize, the first he says, do not place your joy on the sufferings of other people. The second point he says, practice compassion. The third is make and build strong relationships, very quality relationships. Fourth, suffering is natural, but we tend to amplify them, so don't do that. The fifth, positive attitude, feelings and habits can be cultivated over a period of time. The sixth, try to find good in all situations in life. 7, replace anger and hate with patience and tolerance. And 8, combat your anxieties and your thoughts and your motives. See them and understand them, analyze them. And if you are able to do all these 8 things, you will definitely be happy in life. Now, my suggestion to you is, this is too much to chew. So take one quality at a time, one point, whatever he has mentioned, take one for 1 month of time and practice that. So if you are able to practice each and every point which is mentioned here for every month, 1 month you practice compassion. The next month you try to build relationships. The third month you look at sufferings and see how you are responding to that. Like that, if you are able to do it over a period of time, you will build your happiness muscles inside your mind, in your body and in your brain, so that you will automatically and naturally start becoming a more happy person. Thank you so much for watching this video. And until next time, it is bye-bye from Nandakumar, your wellness mentor.